Good evening. Today we are just gonna talk some financial stuff. I didn't really have anything special planned out, no guests today. I think we need to go to some of the basics and go over some stuff, especially there's Valentine's Day tomorrow. I know a lot of people got plans for that. So as people come on, and if they do come on, we'll put some chats out here. Otherwise, I just want to talk a couple simple stuff right now as the tax return season is coming up on. Want to talk about what are some of your goals, what are some of your plans, thoughts, how to best spend your money. Good evening, Marian. How are you? I am feeling a lot better. So, if people don't know, I had COVID last week. After I came back from Mike Powell's reunion, grand opening, I've got a test the following Tuesday that came back positive for COVID. So, I was feeling sick the week before, didn't have anything before that, but as of last Tuesday, I was given 5 day to be on my own because I tested positive. So today was my first half day back after the 5 day of solitution of being timed out. Cheer up. I am not sure who is cheering me on because all we got is Facebook user on that one. If you don't know, you need to go on and allow Facebook to show your name. The link for that is chat.restream.io/FB. That's on the screen right there. Copy that link in your browser. It's going to take you to a link that says, hey, allow Facebook to show your profile and your name to be shared on the live stream. And that's how we can see who is on the chat. So I see Marion saying hi, Jeremy. So I'm guessing it's Jeremy. Thank you, Miriam. I am feeling a lot better. I may not feel or sound like I'm 100%, but I do feel like I'm probably 85, 90% there. I didn't get that tired today going to work. I just did a quick 2 windows only, did some office work, and I had an appointment I had to be at, so I dipped out halfway throughout the day. So I think that was a good half day back. Apparently, I got a package from EPD today that I didn't know was coming, Marion. My guys opened it. I don't have a picture of it, but I got a special hat from Marion. I want to say thank you. I will post that tomorrow. Yeah, I guess I got that, Marion. That's Jeremy. So, yeah, my guy sent me a picture around 4 something saying, hey, look, you got a package. And it had Marion's business card with this special 3M hat. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I love it. I haven't even looked at it myself yet, but I got the picture of it. I was like, I don't remember I ordered anything from EPD. I've been trying to order a whole bunch of stuff, getting ready for the season, but I thought EPD was out of my distribution area since I'm in Atlanta. So, but my surprise, I got a special hat. Thank you so much. The thought is so generous. I appreciate it. So, let me pull up my other screen so that way I can see when Jeremy is commenting. And instead of saying Facebook user, I can address Jeremy. So I'm assuming he's on my page on InCREDITable KASH. I don't see that comment yet, but let's take a look at this. So how's everybody doing today? Anybody got any special plans for tomorrow? That is one of the things I kind of want to discuss financially more than anything else. I'm not going to tell you how to spend your Valentine days, but I thought we might bring that up as since we're a financial talk show, that well, how much to dish out or what people plan on dishing out for their Valentine's Day. I will tell you, I do cheap out on that stuff because Marion says she hates tax season and that they are nationwide. So I gotta get with you on some of the 3M stuff when I do, because I've been using fellers for 3M materials. So I know you guys are big on 3M. So I gotta support you guys on that, and then maybe gotta hook up with you, Marion, on see what else you got that I can support you back on. I love the whole EPD team, Manny, Marion, Marion 2.0. Everybody, you guys are an awesome team. Just want to say that. So today, last week we kind of talked about life insurance. Some other things that we can also talk about is a will or a trust that can be put in for yourself, even for your business. That way, you are not leaving your loved ones with a whole bunch of headache and unknown and uncertainties. Definitely, if you don't have anything in writing, what happens with your assets, then the government gets involved and it kind of gets nasty. We stock all 2080 wrap. Okay, cool. So I love using Avery and 3M. Those are my two favorite wraps materials to use. I've used a few other ones, but the two best ones I like are those two. And I usually push my customers over to either one of those two, depending on what color they want and what we got to do to it. In fact, I believe we got a job in there for some wheels to be wrapped in the next couple days. Some custom orange that's going to be done by Avery. So I'll post that up on my page in the next couple days once we get that done with that. But anyways, let's talk about tax returns. Okay, so as an individual, a lot of people wait for their tax returns, are looking forward to their tax returns because most people are getting something back. So they want to know, or they're waiting for it and they want to use it. And being honest about it, 9 out of 10 people are going to waste that tax return money. I say waste because they're not going to use it properly to pay out debt. They're not going to use it to financially secure themselves for the uncertainty or have a saving for that money to be put aside, since that is something extra they're getting back in. And then what is tax return? A lot of people look at it, hey, this is the government giving me money. It is exactly what it says, tax return. Return means it's your money that you're getting back. Yes, there are some lower income people that, because they have kids or whatever the situation, they're getting some extra help from the government. But for the most part, it's taxes that got taken out of your wages that you're getting it back. So you should be putting that towards something that's going to benefit you instead of going out buying, fancy stuff that really doesn't help you out. It could be a new phone. It could be some fancy shoes, purse, car. A lot of people spend this money unplanned, not for their benefit really, other than, hey, I got quick extra money. I'm gonna use it just because I got extra money out of it. I think that's our what is today's, I don't know how to put this words right. I think that is the wrong way we think and wrong way our community is built to use that money on. We have to start getting, this is a boring talk show. Honestly, I'm being bored talking about it, but it's something that we have to talk about. I mean, we have to get out of the norm of just getting this money and spending it before it becomes in. I know a lot of people are looking for that H&R block tax advance. You're literally paying H&R extra money to use your tax return before you get the tax return from the government. So you're literally giving away a portion of your money away just so you can have it a little bit earlier. And then on top of that, you're not really going to use that for something that is a necessity. You're going to use it more of something for a luxury item. Like I say, it could be anything. It could be shoes, it could be purse, it could be a car, something that you really don't need. Now, that's not what all of us use that for, but a high percentage of us, that's what we're using it for. So, yep, I agree. Impulse buying. Exactly. I mean, my business benefits a lot from impulse buying, and that's part of my business plan is to, you know, take the full advantage of that and get as much business as possible in the next 4 months. And literally on my tires and wheel business, our business more than doubles in the next 4 months because of tax returns. And then we have 3 slow months that we have to recoup because of the high volume here and the low business in those slow times. So those are some of the things that a lot of people in the small businesses don't plan out. They don't plan out their full 12 months and look at their high and low months. So business planning needs to go all year round. What's up, Tim, bro? How you doing? We got some chats going. That's cool. So, those are some of the things I kind of want to talk about. Again, today is probably going to be a boring subject. I don't have any entertaining person on here. I'm not that entertaining today. I'm coming back from some health issues, but a lot of this last couple weeks have given me a lot of things to talk about. Like, hey, this show is financial. It's not all about entertaining. Yes, I'm going to try to make it as active as possible, but at the same time, the goal is to make our audience aware and hopefully be better financially set. So the goal of this show is for our tenter buddies, our automotive buddies, and anybody else, their family and friend that actually watch the show, whether you watch it live or whether you watch it later on, is to get some kind of a knowledge to help you be more financially secure and financially free and be more independent on it financially, where you don't depend on your paycheck. You don't, you're not stressing about your credit. You're not stressing about, a lot of this stuff. So many of my dealers made a killing with the government stimulus money. Oh, you don't know the half of it. We were one of the dealers that, even though we closed multiple times for COVID, we still had a great year because all that stimulus money that came in. I honestly sold wheels that were stuck in my store for years because of the stimulus money and because of the factories being shut down. We sold a lot of stuff, and we sold it either at cost or above that we had marked down below cost beforehand, and it wasn't selling just because supply and demand got put on the line. COVID, made a lot of factories shut down, and you didn't have a lot of stuff coming in. So whatever was on the shelf was being picked up, and it got to a point where we weren't losing; we were actually making money. And the costs went up a lot. I mean, right now on my tire side, oh my God, tire cost has gone up so much in the last 3 years that it's ridiculous. And most of that is because of supply and demand. There is more demand right now than supply coming in. Now, supply chains are starting to be more going back to normal and coming up with more supply, but at the same time, there's still a lot of stuff that you're not able to get. Now, the other thing we're now looking at in 2023 is a lot of talks is happening is that the financial downfall. A lot of people don't want to talk about this, but everybody's predicting, and they've been predicting this for years. Even when COVID hit, is a lot of it got delayed. A lot of it got delayed because of the stimulus packages and stuff. But ultimately, we always have that high and low dip. Every 10 so years, and our dip was due some years ago, and we didn't take that dip. Now we're at the peak of that dip. So are we ready financially to take on that? Gas price is supposed to go above $4 in most of the part of the state in this summer. Everybody's trying to get the minimum wage to be way higher. Even if the minimum wage is not higher right now, if you want an employee, most employees don't come in unless you're offering them a really high pay right off the top. And it's not even the employees now. I mean, just look at what the cost of living is. Cost of living has gone so much in the last couple of years that, it's not even fair or feasible to make a living what you were getting paid a year ago or 2 years ago. So you have to have an increase, and a lot of employers are being stingy about it. And they're being stingy in two parts. They're being stingy about, hey, if I increase my prices, I'm gonna lose business. And then because they're not increasing their prices, they can't pay their employees. And then they lose their employees, especially in the tinting world. Everybody's talking about, hey man, why don't you just go work for yourself, have lower overhead, and make the money and keep the money. And then these guys that want to hire, like I want to hire people right now, if I'm not offering them a high percentage or a high dollar amount, I'm not going to get nobody. But at the same time, I have to, as a business, know that, hey, the prices has to be a little bit higher than what they were because my cost is higher. And not only in the materials, but cost in labor is higher. So, all right, we got a couple of chats here that I gotta stay paying attention to. Replying to Marion, hello, hope evening. Hope all is good your way. And then Marion's got a chat up here. My gas and electric bill has almost doubled. Yes, my electric bill. Oh my God, Marion. My electric bill went up a lot. And I was surprised at how much it went up by. But at the same time, I'm surprised, but not surprised because we have to face the reality of it. And a lot of people are trying to avoid that reality is that, hey, I'm going to be, they have a saying that just because you close your eyes doesn't mean that the problem is going to go away. So, that's why I said we need to plan out. We need to plan out all our steps and be proactive on being ready for what the financial, downstream may come our way. If it doesn't come, great. If it comes, are you prepared to take it on and survive? You don't want to be that person that lost their house or lost their business. There's still people that's still trying to recover from 2008, 2009, 2010. They didn't recover from that. California has such a bad, I'm from Sacramento, California originally. Last time I went some years back, man, the amount of homeless people there is ridiculous. Now, homeless people are being same thing here in Georgia. In Atlanta, homeless has grown a lot, especially around my neighborhood. I'm dealing with more and more homeless people coming in on a daily basis, whether they want to come in for using the bathroom, and they come into your bathroom and they want to take a shower in the bathroom, and we don't have a shower, so they're making a mess. I have outside benches that I've literally had homeless people try to use my own fence to put on fire so that they can survive the night. Uh, it didn't used to be an issue, but why we have more homeless people out? Well, a lot of it is because a lot of people didn't recover from that financial downfall, and they weren't ready for this financial burden on them. A lot of them was due to COVID. A lot of people right now are just damn lazy. They don't want to work. They found easy stimulus money, and they think that government is going to keep on paying them. The government can only print out so much. I mean, we got to realize that. So again, boring talks today, guys. I'll be honest with you, but if you're gonna listen, you're gonna be part of this. I guarantee you're gonna be better off than a lot of people that avoid this boringness. The boringness has to be, it's part of your mental and financial growth that has to be done. If you are proactive about it, you plan it out, you will be better off. I guarantee you that. Reality is businesses have to raise prices to make ends meet. Yes, and again, it's supply and demand, and we saw supply and demand in the last couple of years take a real toll. Manufacturing, even in cars. Look at cars. You know, just because Carvana right now is going bankrupt and everybody's hoping that that's going to bring the market down, there's still chips that are not being made that a lot of these manufacturers are depending on to build their cars and bring their production up. And a lot of these manufacturers are also looking at now like, hey, listen, we're still making sales and we're making more profit now than we ever made. What's the rush for us to go back to 100%? They're fine with 50%, 60%. Honestly, nobody's going to talk about this openly, but all will. You know, it's a business aspect. They look at it as a business point of view is that, hey, listen, I don't need to have 100 employees. I can get by with 50 employees. Yeah, I was making $10,000 on a car, and now I'm making 20,000 out of a car. Do I really need to build 10,000 cars? I can do the same amount with the 5,000 with half the employee. So why do I need to go back to 100%? Not only are they not getting the materials and the parts to do it, but they're also realizing that, hey, listen, we're still getting by on this. Now, the only people that are really going to be hurting is a lot of those small businesses that are still on that $99 tent just because, hey, I can still buy, you know, cheap tent for, close to what it was. Even though if it went up a little bit on the cheap tent, it's not costing me a lot because I don't have a lot of overhead. Well, they're also not sitting there for the long term because that cheap tent is coming back after a couple of years. I was just at a store earlier, Walmart to be exact. And I literally had the security lady saw my sign, asked me. She had a Nissan Maxima and she had a tent that was bubbling up, peeling on the doors, and she wanted to get a quote on it. And her thing was like, hey, what if I buy my own tent and you just tint it for me so that way I don't have to go through your store? Again, she wanted the cheaper way out. And you're gonna be in the same position in 2 years, in a year or so. A lot of people need the education like, hey, listen, if you spend just a little bit more money, I can get you the right material. I can even get you the better material and get you some more benefits. And you don't have to worry about this kind of stuff, especially on a car like, that you're gonna keep. So Nissan Maxima is one of those cars that, on the cheaper side can go the distance, in my opinion. So, she plans on keeping that car for at least 5 years. So why not put something decent on there? That way you can have the, heat properties, and you can have the better lifetime warranty on it than, having to get it replaced after a couple of years, because she's only had that car for a year and a half and her back windows are already giving up, and she's already got bubbles happening even on the side windows. So, some of those things. I didn't know Carvana is going bankrupt. Yes, Carvana is going bankrupt. They are liquidating their inventories. That's why some of the pricings in the last month and a half has come down on some of these cars, especially on the higher end cars, is because due to Carvana going bankrupt. Yeah, Carvana hasn't liquidated everything. They're doing it slowly, but it is happening. There are other smaller dealerships that also got hit with some of these financial issues. And, it's getting to a point now where manufacturers are starting to make more cars on a steady base. So more people are being, uh, now being, how do I put this? More people are controlling their purchases and not rushing out to go get a car right away or paying extra money for it. So let's go to my second topic. We had taxes, how you plan on spending it. So we kind of talked about this, how a lot of people are spending it. If you're going to go, again, if you're not spending on necessity and you're spending on luxury, I'm gonna call that a stupid move. You may not like me for it, um, but that's what my financial advice is. That is a stupid move. Please, if you're getting tax return, use that money where if you have debt, pay off your debt. If you don't have a savings, put it towards saving that you should have at least 3 to 6 months of savings. So in case you lose your job, you lose your business, or your business struggles, especially since we're talking about financial crisis may be happening in 23. The real estate industry is talking this consistently. We see housing in a lot of markets going down already, so we know it's happening. We see the government struggling on a lot of different aspects. I don't want to get political. I don't like to get political, but I'm talking about financially. What is going to happen? Taxes last year got delayed. This year most likely it's going to be the same, whether it's that they don't have enough employees to process your tax returns or whatever the situation is. Don't rush out and go to HR block and give them extra percentage to have your tax money that you can go and foolishly spend right now, instead of waiting 3, 4, maybe 6 weeks to get your taxes. With e-filing, you usually get your refund pretty quick. But a lot of people don't even have the patience to wait for the e-filing to take advantage of their full money coming back in and either reinvesting it or, using it wisely to pay the debt. We gotta get into that point, guys, where we got to be smart about it. Now, let's talk the business plans. What are some of your plans for this year? How, and then the second thing is how much you need for business to be safe. Because of the financial crisis supposedly happening, and we have to plan it like it is gonna happen. That is, to me, a smarter way of doing it. And in my opinion, 23 is going to be a roller coaster ride. Exactly, Marion. I 100% agree with you, and that's what I want to advise our viewers, our friends and family is that please be prepared, please plan it out, please be ready so that way you don't struggle. You know, um, my thoughts right now for my personal business is to have a 6 months of savings or expenses planned out, especially in the next 4 months. I am gonna focus on doing as much business as possible to bring in the income and put that into place in case if my business does struggle. I've been doing this for the years now, and it's been so good for me to be able to plan and be able to use that. Um, this year, especially last couple months, were really a little tough for us. Uh, we had a hard time, getting good employees. Okay, getting employees is not an issue. Getting good employees is an issue. Now we have some solid employees, and I love my employees that have been with me for years and keep on doing what they're supposed to be doing. And hopefully, they are, in their mind, being also paid well to stay with us. And I believe the reason they're staying with us is because they are getting you know, uh, paid well. But my goal is to bring employees at a higher cost to me and recoup that in the business aspect by slowly increasing some of my fees. And goal is to make my business be the customer service aspect of it, that hey, I'm providing you with a service, so I'm here to back my services up. If you have an issue, we want to be that business that says, hey, we're not going to find excuses not to service you. We're going to be like, okay, bring it in, we'll take care of it, and that's it. There's no question about it. And I want to make sure I have employees that can follow my guidelines, follow my business plan, and put it into place and make sure that customers are being taken care of. So that way I don't have to question anything. And that's when I say it is where I am having a little issue is finding good employees that I can trust, that can follow the protocol, that can follow the top-notch quality that we're trying to produce. If I'm going to charge for it, I want to make sure that my customers are getting that, you know. So Marion's got the exact same thing right here. Plan, plan, plan. Yes, just like retail, location, location, location. Financial is plan, plan, plan. If you plan, 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 and you plan for what is the good, what is the bad, and what is the worst, there's nothing that can go wrong for you. You know, something that I started off earlier with is planning for the worst case scenario. If you're a business owner, your fatality, your life ending, how do you have it planned out? Is your business going to survive? So, business owners, well, you're the only person running the business. Something happened to you tomorrow or you die tomorrow. A lot of people don't want to use that word. I don't want to use that word, but if something happens, what is the plans of your business? Do you have somebody that's going to take it over, or is it going to flip over tomorrow? What about the inventory you have? What about the customers that you built up? What are those plans? So, Marion, my outlet right now has 7 employees altogether, including me. I plan on having 12 by the mid of next month. So I am hiring tenters, tire installers, office personnels. In all aspects, I want to grow my business because in the last year or so, we've grown our outlet, and I plan on opening up a second one by the end of summer or before the beginning of the winter season. Um, that is my goal. I plan on having at least 2 tenters, maybe one tenter and one multiple space tint and wrapping employee So I have 3 dedicated bays for my tinting wrapping business. I have 7 bays for my tires, wheels, and alignment and suspension parts. So we have room for 10 cars to be serviced at one time. We have 2 extra spaces that we can use if you have to. I'm in a very, thankfully, in a large facility that can accommodate a lot of stuff. And I want to grow because at 7 employees, we're short staffed. So I want to grow and I want to put back a receptionist I had years ago, pre-COVID, that since COVID hit, we had to, we didn't really need that because we had kicked down the business because we didn't have a lot of guys in the back. A lot of it was due to COVID, a lot of it was due to business slowing up, a lot of it was due to supply and demand. We weren't getting the wheels in as quickly as we needed. Our vendors not having the stuff. So now, thankfully, in the last 6 months, that has changed a lot. We've restocked up. In fact, in the last 2 months, we've restocked up a lot. So I'm looking for at least five more members to come on board in the next month, in the next 30 days, that we can accommodate. So, if you got anybody out in the Atlanta area that want to be paid well, as long as they can do the work, I don't mind paying people well. My tire installers get paid more than anybody in Atlanta. I can guarantee you that. I plan on doing that on the tinting side as well. Uh, so, going back to where our business plans are. So, business plans, like I said, guys, if you're a sole person, what is your business worth if you are not here tomorrow? What's going to happen with your business? Whether you have a small inventory or a large inventory, what is your plans for that? Do you have a backup? You know, if you're an individual and you have, let's say, $10,000 of inventory, what is the inventory worth tomorrow if you're not here? Ever thought about that? There should be something that you should be thinking about. You should have a plan for that. Who are you going to sell that off to, or your spouse, or your significant other? What about the customer base, customer list? Are you building your business to be profitable? Are you retaining your customer information? Are you using a CRM like Tinwiz? Shout out. uh, are you using some of these things? I had a wholesale business. I sold my wholesale business some years back because I was able to build up a 1,300 plus customer base. And because I had that customer base, I was able to walk away with some decent money for this wholesale business that I was just not happy with. But I was still able to walk away with money because it was planned out right. It had the structural base set in place. So the new person was able to take it running from day one, you know. And that's the same thing what I'm trying to do with my retail business right now is that if I'm not there tomorrow, I have 2 other people that know my whole business plan, the whole business structure, that can take that over. And if anything happens to any one of those 2 people, I have their notes and I have their information to take on their roles. So, because I have a larger facility, I have different roles for different people. So, for example, right now, I am the tint guy. I have a helper that's learning to be the tinter, but I need 2 full more guys that can take on for this season because I want to be streamlined for this year. But on my tire side, I have a alignment tech, and I have somebody that can back up that alignment tech in case he's not there. He's not able to come in, or God forbid, he's not there tomorrow. Same thing with my lifting business. If whoever's lifting their vehicles, they have a secondary that can be relied on for takeover if they need to do that. Same thing on the brakes, same thing on the tire changing, same thing in the front office. We have guys that have a role, primary role, but then they have a backup in case they're all sick, with COVID. I mean, shoot, yeah, I had to take 5 days off. I took those 5 days out, you know? So those are the things that you got to look at is that what are the situations you're doing to protect your business? What are the plans that you're putting in place for the financial crisis that may happen this year or may happen next year? You know, how are you planning out for the increases in pricing? Are you just like, hey, I'll just take the little hit. I'm not gonna, pass it on to my customers. And when it comes down, I'll recoup. Because I will tell you one thing, once prices go up, they don't come down. Yeah, eventually they do a little roller coaster, but eventually the roller coaster starts here, they go up, and they go down a little bit, they go up, they go down a little bit. But ultimately, it starts here, it ends up here. If you ever look at a chart, and that's why it's called inflation. If you look at a 20-year inflation rate, every year, on average, we're talking about 3 to 5% inflation. And the last 3 years, it's been a roller coaster, and it's a lot more inflation that has happened in the last 3 years. So, please plan out. Valentine's Day, that's tomorrow. Happy Valentine's to everybody out there. Hopefully, you guys have a great Valentine's Day. You guys have it planned out properly. Financially, you're not wasting a lot of money on it. There's a lot of ways that financially you can do Valentine's Day as well. You can give a better gift than just some flowers. I'm just saying, don't play out the flowers, but also like don't go crazy on it, man. Spend that money somewhere wisely. That's all I'm saying. I'm fighting with my pricing right now. See, I mean, that's the thing that Tim, we gotta realize. What are we doing with the fighting of the pricing? You know, yes, as a business person, business owner, you are gonna have to take on some hits. But at the end of the day, business is there to make money. And if you can't make money, you shouldn't be in business. Rather go work for somebody else and let them take on the headache. If you're a business owner, you are taking on a lot more headache than a lot of people realize. And I don't care, some employees like, hey man, they're not paying me what I'm worth. You gotta realize, if they're not paying you what they're worth, go be in business for yourself. But vice versa. If you're a business owner and you're not making money and the business is running you to the ground, shit, close that damn thing up, take your losses now, and go work for somebody where you just clock in, clock out, and you ain't worried about that financial stress, the headache, the bills, all the other stuff that comes with owning a business. Owning a business adds a lot more, time to you mentally. So, sometimes you just gotta realize it. Tim, think about your customer base. Will your customer not come to you if you have to raise your price by $20? So, and a lot of people, Marion, I agree with you on this. A lot of customers or a lot of business owners automatically think that, hey, if I raise my prices, I'm going to lose my customers. Honestly speaking, yes, you are going to lose some customers, but majority of your customers, and if they're good customers, they're going to stay with you and they're going to understand because what's going in the market right now, just like everything else. Shoot, what we're paying $7 for freaking a dozen eggs right now. I don't know about your market, but it was up to $7. It kind of dropped down to now, I think like $6 in my local store right now. I started buying 5 dozens. I mean, I've got a family of 6, so we go through eggs, okay? So I bought 5 dozens, and my wife's like, "What the hell's wrong with you? Why you bought 5 dozen? We don't need that many eggs." But again, I'm a financial guy. I mean, I'm looking at it at 5 dozen, it was costing me $5, or as a dozen, it was costing me 8. I'm not gonna spend $3 on a dozen extra. I'll make some space in the refrigerator, and I'll buy the 5 dozens. I can financially afford it, but I can also save that. 5 times 3, that's $15. You know, that's 3 extra dozens I can get. Uh, so now pricing went down. It went the 5 dozen went down to $22, but they also have 2.5 dozen for $11. Only saving on there was 20 cents if I want to buy five over 2.5. So this time I bought 2.5 because 20 cents is not worth buying 5 dozens. So those are some of the things that you guys got to look at financially, man. Everything is all about numbers. What numbers make sense to you? What numbers don't make sense to you? They come to you for a reason to begin with. Exactly. You there for the services. Why are they coming to you? And don't just be another tent guy or a t-shirt guy. You are providing that service. You are giving something to them, and that's where the focus needs to be. If you listen to a lot of these guys or advices, that's what they're telling you is don't just promote your business as a category. Promote your business as what you are, what you stand for, what your business stand for, why you there, how you gonna be the difference from the guy down the street. If you can promote yourself and your core values and what your business stand for, and if it actually stands for something, a lot of your customers are gonna come there for that. Planetarium. I just had to raise them like 8 months ago, and then my film provided is pricing me out of the market for a dyed film, and it's not 20, it's more like 40 per roll. Okay, 40 per roll. On average, what you're doing, 7 cars, 8 cars on a full roll. What is that? Let's just look at it as 7. 40 divided by 7. What you're spending, how much money are you really spending on that? Those are the things, like, see, a lot of people, we look at it as a whole thing, but break it down, guys. Like, what are you gonna do when you're doing that? That's if you're doing even at 7 on a full roll at $40, that's $5.71. So instead of raising $20 on your customer, raise 6, raise 8, or do a gradual raise. Do a $5 raise next month. Put a special out this month. Say, hey, listen, and that's what I did. Expel raised their prices a couple months ago. I bought extra inventory before the price increase happened because they advised me in advance, saying, hey, we're going to increase 4%. Here is what it is, and we have to do it. And I understand they have to do it because they're not the only one that have to do it. A lot of people are having to do it because the costs are going up. And then I do the same thing with my customer. I let my customers know in advance, hey, listen, I'm not going to go crazy. I'm going to do a gradual increase, and then I'm going to give it some time, and I do another gradual increase. You can do, I'm not saying $5 is $5 is nothing, man. I mean, honestly speaking, but you can do a gradual increase. If you're gonna increase $20 because your roll went up 40, or you want to increase $40 altogether, you can do 10 next month, 10 couple months after, so on and so on. But if you start taking the increase slowly now, your customer's not gonna feel it. Okay, and then you're gonna get to that price that you want to be at in no time. And if there's another increase by that time, you're not hurt so badly. Just think about it this way: if they're increasing your cost right now, and you take on that yourself, and you don't pass that on, or even portion of it, and then there's an increase again in a couple months, what's gonna happen? It's more harder on you as you let it pile up. Don't let shit pile up, guys. That's all I'm saying. Plan it out. Doesn't matter what it is, whether it's a price increase, whether it's the financial issues that's going to happen or are starting to happen, plan it out. You got the tax refunds coming in. Plan that shit out. Use that money wisely. Use it for necessity, man. If you really need something, get that done. I want freaking new floor on my house. I'm not rushing out to go get that damn thing. I explain that to my wife. Listen, there's uncertainty. If everything goes as it's supposed to be planned out, and we have the extra money to do that, we will do that. But there's no rush for me to put a new wooden floor in my whole bottom base just because I want it. You know, have the reserve in yourself, being able to plan it out and make sure that you are secure so tomorrow I am not struggling. I'm not having a headache. I'm not freaking out or having a mini heart attack like I felt like 2 weeks ago. Is that it's not really happening, you know? And if you're financially secure, I guarantee you, you will mentally feel so goddamn good that you'll be able to go in and be more productive at your business, be happier, and have a better customer service just because you don't have the financial burden as a business owner. And if you're trying to build up to be a business owner, please plan ahead so that way you're not struggling, you're not asking for help. You know, a lot of guys that are starting to go into a business and they only plan for 2 months and like, hey, I'm just gonna hustle hard and I'm gonna kick my ass and make sure it happens. That's great. A lot of people it happens to. But if you plan it out instead of doing for 2 months and you plan it out for at least 6 months or more, you don't have to struggle that hard. Instead of rushing into that business right now, plan it out. Save that money, rush into it in 6 months. Work that much harder at your work or do a side hustle. Save the extra money and then go into that business with 6 months plans or 6 months reserves or 9 months reserves. You know, I go into business. My goal most of the time right now, I've learned after opening up 9 locations, is that man, have 6 to a year worth of funds available so that way you don't have to struggle. And uh, you know, thank God we haven't struggled. I mean, we've had tough times, but we did not struggle. There's tough times and then there's struggling. And thankfully, we're not struggling because we're financially secured both on my personal sides and on my business side, that I don't have to struggle. I don't have to delay my vendor's payment. I don't have to do anything that I don't feel like doing it because I'm planned out accordingly. I've learned these tough lessons, and that's what I want to pass on to you guys is that, guys, planning out really makes a life-changing effect on you as a person, as a business owner, as an employee. It is just so much better for you when you're not struggling financially. Same thing with credit. If you can get your credit score fixed up and use that credit for your benefits instead of letting the banks use that. I mean, I was just watching a quick interview with the Rich Dad, Poor Dad. You know, the guy's talking about using debt and not having to pay taxes on debt. Okay, it's a whole different level. Don't try to rush up and go into something without without learning to crawl, without learning to walk. Don't go start running. Okay, if you start to go and want to run, you're gonna fall face first. So learn to crawl, learn to walk, and then learn to run. And once you're running, and if once you go to the gym regularly, man, you feel so free and you feel so good that you want to go to the gym every day. You want to run every day. You're gonna be like, I can't walk no more because I love running. And that's what you gotta turn that into your financial aspect. Take that same strategy and put it into your financial, whether you put it in for your business, whether you put it in as an employee, whether you put it into your personal credit. You need to have that credit score be over 780. That way, if you want to go open up a business tomorrow or you want to have a business credit line, it can base off that 780 plus score and it can give you the benefits you need. You should have those credit cards that has the rewards on it, so that way you're reaping in the rewards and you're offsetting any of those fees, including business fees that you pay for being a merchant service. fees if you get these a lot of these cards with these benefits. You know, Billy Aiton's talked about this a couple weeks ago. Those are the things that you guys got to look at is, and you got to be able to use these benefits for your gain instead of your loss. Instead of paying 15, 21% interest, pay no interest. Use the bank's money, but be able to use it without paying any interest. Or if you're going to pay interest, pay very low interest. You want to go buy a car and you have the flexibility to make those payments. The one funny thing when I was talking to this security lady at Walmart was, she's like, "Hey, a lot of these people come in and they have these really rich cars, and you know how many repo cars happen at Walmart?" It was just funny to hear from this lady that there's daily in that Walmart I was at, and this is if you're in the Atlanta area, this was the one off Panola, off 20, and she was like on a daily basis, she has at least one or two car that gets towed from that Walmart that gets repoed because somebody didn't make their payments. And that's amazing to me, man. I mean, to hear that a one or two car is getting repoed out of Walmart every day, uh, because these guys will go buy these expensive cars that they can't afford. They're not on their payments. Repo business is a booming business, man. I mean, shit. If you want to get into a business that is a little dangerous but pays well, there's a repo business out there. We have these rental wheels around our area. I know it's not everywhere, but these rental wheels, they make tons of money because they will tell you, hey, you can have 24-inch rims and tires for $35 a week. And people don't look at it. $35, that's nothing. But that's a week, man. $35 a week. You pay for 2 years, and at the end of the 2 years, you have to return those wheels and tires. What kind of plan is that? You know, a lot of people don't realize that. If a item, average tires and wheels cost $1,200. These guys are paying $2,800 by renting the damn thing, and then at the end of the day, they don't own it. But they don't care about that. They don't look at that. A $1,200 tires and wheels that you can buy for cash, you're spending $2,600, and you're putting that into a freaking 2-year plan. At the end of it, you don't own it. That makes no sense to me. But that's what's happening. They'll be like, hey, look, it's nothing, it's not that much for you. It's only gonna be $35-$40 a week. And people look at, oh, it's only $35-$40 a week. Yeah, but that's $160, $180, $200. And then at the end of the 2 years, you don't own it. And there's no assets for you at the end of the 2 years. You damage it, you pay more. So, guys, plan. Use wisely. Be prepared for this financial crisis that is looming around. Be smart about these holidays and don't be another statistic out there and go spend money crazy and spend $500, $1,000 on Valentine's Day. If you really love that person, buy something that's gonna have some real value to them. Go buy a life insurance, man. Shit, go increase your life insurance. Go put that money in a saving account, in a joint account. Be like, hey, listen, baby, I get you $500 here. Let's put this in a savings account. Something that happens, or you want to buy something that's actually worth something, or that's gonna be something. It's cheesy. It's not romantic, but it's freaking what you need. I don't know how to say this. Where are you located, Tim? Marion wants to know. T-Town. If you're still around, Marion wants to know where you're located. Guys, that's all I got. We're at that 1 hour mark. If you got anything to comment, please comment. Be safe out there. be be your best you can, and please plan out and have that financial growth. If you guys got any topics you guys want to talk about, please put it out here. I do have a couple people planned out in the next couple weeks or so that will be our guests in the next couple weeks. We will see what their thoughts are. I'm gonna plan on having a realtor on the show pretty soon, so anybody has any questions on buying a house, um, investing in housing, whatever, maybe they can answer those questions. Look for that in the next couple weeks or so as well. And again, if you guys got any questions or suggestions, please put it on there, whether you want to put it on the live chat or in the comments afterwards. I try to like all the comments or reply to most of them. If you want to send me a message personally, send me a message. If you need any help financially planning out your business or your personal credit, please let me know any way I can help out, man. I love to help people out and have them not make the same mistakes I did. Making mistake is a learning process, but if you can make the minimum mistakes and get the most growth out of it, that's the way to go. Um, we should talk. I have dealers in Ohio. Look, Tim, Marion's got a hookup for you on the business aspect. Thank you, Miriam. Thank you, Miriam, for being here every week. I really appreciate that, and I'm gonna really go enjoy that hat tomorrow. I will post a picture of it. I can't wait for that. Thank you so much. You don't know the smile you put on my face when I got it. I was like, when my guy called me, hey, you got this package, and I was like, I don't know what that package is. Open it. Um. But thank you so much. Everybody, have a great night. We'll see you in the next one. Hopefully, this was somewhat beneficial to you. If you guys got anything you guys want to, like I said, always put out here, please put it out. We'll share it and we'll go from there. Everybody,